Okay, so we're now live, but I'm not going to stick around for too long right now anyway, because I have to, I did a lot of laundry last night, and I went out and did a case this morning, and I'm back home now, and I got to do this and, put away that mountain of laundry I just did yesterday. So unfortunately, I can't stick around for too long today, but I wanted to talk about a few things that came up and that I think are worth discussing because I don't really know if I want to talk about it right now, but I guess I probably should since Sargon saw my tweet from earlier and was like dunking on him, and that's Bunty, who sent out a rather stupid tweet. And if I can get fucking YouTube to respond, okay, there we go. I will move on over to that, and I'll show you that tweet because I think that Sargon, in that response that he sent, and I guess I should find Sargon's tweet about that. So give me 1 second, and I will find that tweet. Okay. I think letting Sargon back on Twitter was a mistake. And that reminds me, Styx Hexenhammer, which I'm sure most of you who have heard of, he's been in an argument with Sleeping Giants for like the last hour. It's crazy. And they're actually responding to him and like defending themselves. It's nuts. And I got to tell you, that's a really eye-opening exchange, which I'm not going to link to just for the purposes of not having a million links. But I recommend you go over to Styx Hexenhammer's 666's official account and look at him arguing with fucking Sleeping Giants, which is an awful goddamn outlet. That in them and some other group are mainly responsible for pulling advertisement from all the Fox News people and from Breitbart, and also deplatforming like a million fucking people. So Sleeping Giants and one other outlet, which I forget the name of, are some of the worst as it relates to censorship. And they're out there like debating with Styx about free speech, and it's like, it's nuts, it's wild, and they're crazy, man. They're off the deep end. But anyways, let me find and the other news that's a big story, and I'm contemplating doing a video on because people keep asking about it, is what's going on with Patreon and Sargon and that, because there's been a lot of stuff going on, and I've been waiting for some of it to sort of calm down before I can actually talk about it. But I think it was this morning, Sam Harris pulled out of fucking Patreon, which he was one of the largest accounts on Patreon. So people saying to me like, oh man, just because Sargon got kicked off doesn't mean anything. It's like, bro, you have no idea. Like, you have no idea how important and how significant of a thing that was. And that was why Sam Harris pulled out. Sargon has some very influential friends and that don't like him being fucking banned and having his career almost, ruined. And ruined as it is as of now, because Subscribestar has been fucking ruined, which I anticipated, and that's why I didn't, advertise it to all of you. Is because I figured this is what was going to happen, and it did. Let's see. Man, I really wish he wouldn't have gotten into a fucking argument. Oh, here we go. Okay. So here is the tweet by Sargon. And I guess, I don't know if I should say I disavow this tweet, but I do think he's jumping the gun a little bit. Because the only person that I really disagree with in this is about Bunty. Because I don't think that Bunty has been done enough, I should say, to warrant this kind of criticism. But for the others in this, I can't really also speak to Wizard of Cause. I don't really know if he's done anything to cross the line. But Kraut probably deserves some of this praise. And Jeff Holiday absolutely deserves this criticism, because Jeff is kind of a piece of shit. And he has a lot of bad takes in his like grooming people, as far as I can tell, to hate Sargon and hate people like me, and to walk away from people like us for no other reason to basically saddle up to SJWs and the regressive left for the sake of his own asinine causes. But let me Let me find the tweet in question. And this is the kind of thing that sent me over the edge with Chris Raygun. It's why I did the video on him. It was bad takes like this. And let me find those tweets from Bunty really quick, and I'll put those up and we can talk about that. Because what I'm going to do in this isn't me wading into drama for the sake of it, as he might be accusing me of, because let me find the tweet, actually. Give me a second. Where is it? Where is the tweet? Ah, here we go. Here's the tweet. So he starts out by saying, outrage junkies are the most annoying people to encounter online. You can see their life trauma wrought with everything they do. It's so obvious to everyone but them. And this, to me, is the offending tweet. Wow, that game dev said that. Wow, canceled. Writes viral post. So immediately we have a problem. So people did this after, what was it? It was, I know that specifically that happened with Cyberpunk 2077. And I don't remember offhand, and maybe people in the chat can remind me of what exactly CD Projekt Red did. Maybe it was them apologizing again and again for, SJWs coming after them about mean tweets, in which they actually later fired the community manager they had based on the pressure from inside the company with SJWs inside the company. And I know that from basically talking to the quartering who hired that guy, and that's why he was fired. There was somebody inside the company from HR that put out basically the message that this is not following with what's right and what's just, and et cetera, and boom, this dude's fucking fired. But the thing is that the problem with the beginning of this tweet is the fact that every consumer has the right to cancel their pre-order to a game. No game company is owed money. And people are absolutely right to do whatever the hell they want to with their money. And I think it's kind of ridiculous for anyone to be sitting in the position to judge people and say that you should just spend your money. Like, shut up, go buy Battlefield 5. Like, it's a twisted sense of reasoning that gets you in that position, to where you're criticizing somebody for canceling a pre-order or canceling their purchase or wanting a refund for not liking something that some dev did or said. They're completely within their right to do that. It's their money. No game company is owed money. And I think that's kind of one of the problems that we have in gaming at the moment, is too many people are what I call zombie buyers that just show up and buy a game regardless of anything. You can have the most ridiculous microtransactions in a game ever. You can be like Rockstar and put in transactions in your game that are so close to something you'd find in a phone game that it's ridiculous, to where they're now incorporating that. And so is there's rumors going around that Fallout 76 is going to do the exact same thing. They already have microtransactions, but they're apparently going to be putting in more that are akin to their phone game of Fallout Shelter. These are predatory practices that I already know that Bunty doesn't agree with. I already know Bunty doesn't agree with these things. But the thing is that I don't like Bunty putting this out, because what it does is it's him drawing the line. You're allowed to be upset with a game company for doing this, but you're not allowed to be upset with a game company for doing it. You're allowed with X, but not with Y. And the fact is that as it is now, I'm going to give you a reason why. I'll give you the why. We'll get to that in a second, because that also dropped today. So we'll get to that in a second. So let's move on. Writes viral post on social media. Oh, that developer is talking about diversity. So the issue with diversity is that it ruins games. It is a code word for non-white male. That is what diversity is. It is a code word. It doesn't actually mean what people assume it means. The implication is not what most normal people think it is. It is, in fact, a code word, and so is inclusivity. Inclusivity is a code word. I just realized I'm not sharing my screen. Oh, no. Oh, no. I had my own boomer moment. That was my fucking boomer moment right there. So hang on. Let me reverse course. Let me give me a second to reverse course and fix my boomer moment there for a second, and we'll just pretend like this never happened. Anyways. Okay, now everything should be good. So this is the original tweet that Sargon sent out. And it was basically in response to my own, because he saw me. He saw, I said something like, I made a pithy joke about Bunty's comment, and he saw that. And Jeff Holiday was in the comment section, and I said on Discord, like, oh my God, here he is again. He's showing up again. What is this? And it's kind of that thing. Like, this is the thing about me and Chris, is that you're doing this. You're doing this. You're trying to draw a line, and yet it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense for you to be drawing this line of, well, predatory business practices are acceptable for you to disagree with, and if you want to not buy a game or cancel pre-order, that's justified. But the minute you have any question as to the content of the game as it relates to just being propaganda, and there are just countless examples of that. Countless examples of that also destroying the game and destroying a fucking company. No bigger example than, let's say, Telltale, which is now out of business, or BioWare, which should be out of business, is only kept afloat by their parent company. And the issue with this is the reason why people like me exist is because I'm a fan of Rockstar. I'm a fan of BioWare, or was. You know, I bought every goddamn Telltale game. So am I allowed to have an opinion on it? If I get upset and I raise my voice, is it fine with you? This is the thing, that there's no reason to draw the line. There's nothing about being upset with the content of the game or the fact that a developer is on social media shitting on customers. Whatever example you're going to give for what isn't acceptable, there's no reason why you finding one thing acceptable negates the other. There's nothing. And as I said at the beginning of this, canceled, whether it's your pre-order or you want a refund or whatever else, that customer is entitled to that. They're entitled to do whatever they want to and feel however they want to about the product they just bought. There is no line here. There's no line about what is just and what isn't. You know, if it isn't something that you find necessarily justified in your own right, that's great for you. But it doesn't mean that just because somebody else doesn't agree, and that there is some reason that they find to not, if they do find a reason why they're no longer going to pre-order, let's say, Cyberpunk 2077, because some guy got fired. Community manager who's blamed for innocuous tweets by the left and people within the company that subscribe to their ideology and basically use their position with the company to strong arm a low-level employee and force them out of the company. You know, if because of that you want to cancel your pre-order of Cyberpunk 2077, well, that's up to you, isn't it? It's your money. It's not mine. I'm still likely going to, pre-order or buy Cyberpunk 2077, regardless of the fact that that guy was unfairly let go from the company for innocuous tweets. But the thing is that just because I'm willing to do that doesn't negate the fact that that happened. It doesn't negate the fact that that person is still not just able, but it's still worthy of your consideration that that was the reason why they've decided to not pre-order the game. I don't understand this mindset, but it's growing. This is the thing. This is why I decided to do that video on Chris, and why I'm deciding to talk about this now with Bunty, because I don't think that it's fair for people to just say that, like, this isn't worthy of consideration, which is the implication. It's the implication of what Chris has been tweeting out numerous times over months. It's what Bunty is saying in this tweet. It's social justice is a problem in gaming, and the only reason why you would disagree with that is either A, you sympathize with it, and that's not my suggestion, or B, you don't care. And that is my implication with this. That is what I do think. And the difference is I do care. I do care about what's happening to the Western industry, and it is not doing well right now. And that's why I care. I care. And that's, I guess, the difference. That's the canyon of disagreement, of where people are struggling to understand others, is these people do care about what's happening to the industry. They don't like what's going on. They don't like that every goddamn company is basically spiraling out of control, and every goddamn video game at $60 a pop is turning into a fucking microtransaction-infested phone game. The industry is not in good condition right now. And I've been saying this for years, but apparently, if you disagree, or apparently, yeah, I mean, if you disagree and you think everything is just hunky-dory, then you're going to make fun of people that are upset with how they see the industry as it is. You know, I don't understand, like, what to say. Like, my only answer to Bunty would be like, well, why don't you go on and pre-order the next Telltale game? Well, you can't do that because their company's out of fucking business, because it got driven into the ground. BioWare is soon to be with them. That's been my prediction for quite a while, and I've been upset, and I've been proven wrong, in fact, in that regard, because they can't stop. They keep being bailed out by their parent company. That is the singular reason why they are still in business. And like I said, I disagree with Sargon here in that I think that he lumped Bunty into this unfairly because of my tweet. I think that with this is that he is trying to gloss past something that he should really engage with, and is just trying to malign people that, you know, it's not fair. The criticism that he's offering isn't fair, and it begs certain questions about, you know, you putting it out there and stating it begs a question of why. Okay, if it's such a fucking non-issue, why do so many people care? That to me is the big thing. Why do so many people care? Tens of thousands, if not into the hundreds of thousands, care about this in a fashion that is foaming at the mouth, that is very serious. It's very serious. Why do they care? If it's such a non-issue, why do they care? And so what I'm going to do is find you the tweet from earlier that I retweeted from One Angry Gamer. So one of the big issues that I could showcase to you, and I have a million of them saved on Twitter, on my favorites, is just an endless list of games that have now been censored by Steam. They've gone back completely on their policy of, well, we're not the moral arbiter. You know, so long as your game isn't some kind of scam, it can be on our platform. They've completely backtracked on that. And now they've added a category to the reporting system of, if your game has, let's be real, girls that could be conceived of as underage that are in a school setting, your game is banned off of Steam. They've added that category to the reporting system, and I guarantee you that's not from anywhere, or not from nowhere, I mean. They did that because of prodding from some people. And your guess is as good as mine as to which side it is. Is it SJWs or is it Christian conservatives? Which is it? Censorious conservatives or the far left? Which? Because with Steam, it could be either, because they've been gone after by both sides. But the thing is that it's happening, and it's very serious, and it's only getting worse. Okay, so here's the tweet. So this is from One Angry Gamer, who is one of the few websites that actually report on this. And it is about this union that has been created in the UK for game developers. So one of the things that people have talked about a little bit today on my Twitter is that gaming has issues with crunch. It's called crunch, where you ramp up the number of hours that people are working on games to rush to the finish. There's the layoffs that happen right after the release because you no longer need that size of a team. There's a lot of issues with game development. Also, the pay is usually, there's been stories about even recently with Blizzard with their payments, the pay that they offer for employees is not good. That it's in some ways exploitative. And so there's a reason why a union for game developers could make sense. But the issue is that and I say this on Twitter with a joke of, a picture of an image stock of a guy ready to hang himself and saluting, which I thought was a funny fucking photo that I found. It's basically the idea that game employees, game developers could actually use a union. Like in an ideal world, they could actually use a union to defend them. But the problem is that unions in modern times are so fucking useless and even counterproductive that you might as well not even bother. You might as well not even have a union at this point. Because I want you guys in the comment section to think about this and to answer me. Now, even if you're like someone who's, to the right or conservative, or someone who's anti-union, and I know that there's plenty of people who do not sympathize with unions and they see them as illegitimate or thuggish. What I want you to do is just offer this a fair, keep an open mind to this and think about this in a fair manner. Detach yourself from your own position. Do you actually believe, and I want the chat to answer this, this is not rhetorical. Do you think, chat, that this union will represent conservative developers? Or do you think that this will be another mechanism by which the leftist cabal that exists in gaming will just reinforce their position? And I'm sending this to the chat. Do you think that these people will fairly represent game developers, their members, the members that pay their dues? Or do you think that this is just another mechanism for control? So what I'm looking for is a single yes. Because it's self-evident. It's self-evident at this point. This union is not even pretending to be neutral. It is not even, as someone just said, it won't even represent liberals. That's true. That's true. They won't even represent liberals. They won't represent anyone but the authoritarian left. And so if you look, and this is according to an article from Sky News, it's just developers. I don't know why they have to say workers. I guess it's workers because not every member of the union. It's probably a lot of QA shit because QA pays very little and that sort of thing. And that's why they say workers instead of developers. But I'm not really too worried about QA. It's mostly the developers that have the big issues because you have to relocate and you have to be in an office environment, or you're a contractor and basically you can get screwed and be totally powerless unless you go to the court system. But the thing is that this union isn't even pretending to be neutral. And I'll show you how I know this in a second here. We'll get to how I know in a second. The person that is the founding member said to Sky News, "For as long as I can remember, it has been considered normal for game workers to endure 0-hour contracts," which is a very UK thing, excessive unpaid overtime, which may be both United States if you're salaried, and even sexism and homophobia as a necessary price to pay for the privilege of working in the industry. Stop. So I already know from being connected to gaming for a long time now that this is a non-issue. This does not exist. Every goddamn developer in the industry, especially in the United States, Canada, the UK, they are falling over themselves. All of them are falling over themselves to try to basically placate the left. They're doing everything in their power to placate the left in this way. There is affirmative action. There is discriminatory hiring. There's all the things that you can imagine happening in the gaming industry right now. And so the idea of sexism and homophobia being anything other than just a lame excuse by people that want control is a joke. This isn't a this is a joke in and of itself. That anyone could believe this. But let's just let this slide. Let's just say that women in gaming are facing they're being oppressed, and so are gays. When you have companies like DICE and EA having floats in gay pride parades, let alone everything else, working with the White House to promote freaking feminist bullshit, even in their own games, is outright propaganda from the White House. And if you don't believe me, okay, sure. It's on us, The Sims 4. It's on us to prevent sexual assault, which is a feminist bullshit campaign originating from far-left activists, feminist activists, and the Obama administration. This happened in 2014. They put this in the game. These shirts exist in the game for characters to wear. This is political propaganda in a game. This is political propaganda. This is from the White House and political activists, and they put it in the video game. There is nothing more. There's no other way to describe this, other than this is political propaganda. And the reason why I don't like this is because I don't want any side that is based on, like, I don't want Trump Make America Great Again hats put in the game from EA, and EA telling us, yes, we endorse this administration. Yes, we are putting this in the game. You should wear this. You should agree with us. You should agree with Trump. You should not be putting political propaganda from the existing administration in your products. They should not be in your games. I care about this. This is why I don't like it. This is why I'm getting upset. This is why I do this channel as a hobby or something to do. It's because of shit like this. And the reason why people like me are going on and on and on and on and are outraged 24/7 is because this never fucking stops. There's a story like this every fucking day. If I wanted to, if I did this full time, I could be like the Quartering, Jeremy, and put out a video, like 5 videos every fucking day, talking about censorship, talking about the far left, talking about propaganda, talking about the fact that the Western industry is going off the fucking deep end and is going to freaking kill itself in the name of social justice, in the name of feminism, in the name of everything else that has to do with the far left. If I wanted to, I could do that. The reason is not because I'm looking for something to be outraged by, but because I've loved games my entire life. I've been a gamer my entire life, and I hate this shit. Gaming didn't used to be this way. Neither did comics, by the way. Comics didn't used to be this way either, except for now the comic book industry is practically dead. Guess what? Let's think about this for a second. Is there any censorship happening in comics today? Well, let's find out. DC, what's the name of the fucking what's the name of the character? What's the name of the author so I can find it? Poison Ivy. P-O-I-S-O-N. Ivy. Let's find it. Here we go. Oh, what's going on in comics today, guys? What's going on in the comic book industry? Let's find out. Oh, look at this cover. Oh, this is a pretty good cover. Look at this. Oh, they changed it. Oh, well, why did they change it? Why did it go from this to this? That's weird. I don't know, guys. I don't know. What happened here. What happened? Why did this cover change? Was it just out of the ether? Was it the inexplicable? What was it? What was it, guys? I don't know. I'm just an ignoramus. What was it? Do you guys in the chat know? Does anyone in the chat know what happened? I need someone to help me out here. I'm just too outraged. I'm so angry that I have no idea what's going on. My mind is fogged with anger and outrage. Help me out here. What happened? Why did this cover change? Can anyone help me out? Them? Okay. Anyways, I'll be sure to save this from IGN so you guys can go. I'll save this link anyways. Oops, wrong thing to save it to. Okay. So yeah, it's because she didn't buy Fallout 76. But yeah, this is the issue, that what's been happening in the comic book industry has been happening in the gaming industry for quite actually longer. It's actually been longer in the gaming industry, but it seems that it just wasn't as things in gaming have burned. It's gone on a slower burn, the things that have been happening. But anyways, let's get back to this article. So let's get, I almost spoiled it. So let's get back to what this other person from this union says. Diversity and inclusion is a problem. So I don't know if any of you started at the beginning. Do any of you remember what I said about diversity and inclusion being a code word? That those are code words, that they don't actually mean what they say they mean. Diversity does not mean diversity. It just means non-white and non-male. And inclusion means people that agree with us and not you. That's what inclusion means. It actually means exclusion. It means turning gaming into a cabal or a club or a clique. However you wish to describe it, it's exclusive. It's exclusionary, I should say. But in what is a majority white male industry. So there you go. Like, they don't even hide it. I mean, in one sentence, they just address the fact that this is a code word, because it's just like they can't even help themselves. It's like, no, I believe in diversity and inclusion. By the way, fuck white people. Fuck white people. It's like, okay, I guess we already know what you're talking about. But okay, so you ready? Let me zoom in here. Not on those girls there. Oh, what's that? What's that? I think I've seen that before. I don't know. I'm pretty sure I've seen that symbol before. I can't place it, you know? I just can't place it. Hold on. Let me, while you guys are sitting there I'm gonna look this up. I think it has something to do with the French. But let me look it up. Let me see if I can find some information about what we're looking at. Oh, here's an article from Bustle. Oh, hey, look! Would you look at that? It's the same symbol on these half garbage cans with, like, rope in them. Who's holding them? Well, that would be Antifa. And Antifa, what are they known for? Violence, skinny jeans, bad fashion, communism. I think that's it. I think I just solved the question. Communism. That's what they're actually, that's what they embrace, that's what they stand for. And guess what? That is the same thing here. Okay, this is like you thinly veiling, like, your union logo with with a hammer and sickle or a swastika, like a fig leaf over a fucking swastika. That's the comparison that I'm gonna make. Okay, this is pathetic. Why don't you just? I mean, they practically do say it, that they are a fucking communist, like, group, but how exactly? Like, why would anyone in the world embrace this? Why would anyone in the world endorse this? Why? And I like how they have this one advertisement down here from I see this pop up every once in a while from One Angry Gamer. If you're interested in watching High School of the Dead, don't follow this link here. Follow my my affiliate link in the description. Go over to PlayAsia, or not PlayAsia, but JList. They'll probably have something on High School of the Dead. But yeah, this is the kind of thing that's destroying the industry. And it's because these companies are not going to survive this. You know, I'm not really sure if anyone saw Jeremy's video on the fact that none of these companies are doing very well this year. That even with Rockstar and Take-Two, with Red Dead Redemption 2, their stock still took a shit. It didn't go up at all. It didn't go up at all after Red Dead 2's release. And the thing is that do you think all those shareholders and those investors are just dumb? Do you think they don't know anything? Do you think they're completely oblivious? Or do you think they might know something we don't about Rockstar or Take-Two as a company? Take-Two and their endless fucking sports game sequels. I wonder if they know something we don't. I don't know. I'll just have to about it. Anyways, I'll get to the super chat. I've had some super chats. But so I guess I'll reiterate for those of you who just came in that I disavow that tweet from Sargon who lumped in Bunty. But if you want to, you can rewind this stream a little bit and see my criticism of him, because I do think that he warrants criticism with his bad take, his stupid tweet. And my hope is that he doesn't continue to do that, like fucking he doesn't continue to do that like Chris Raygun has been doing for months. So Baczynski says, I don't know why I watch Tim Pool. He pisses me off in his videos to such an extent. I don't know if I necessarily agree with that. I watch a secondary channel, and he's pretty milquetoast, I can say, but he doesn't really seem, I mean, every once in a while he'll have a bad take, but I don't, like, he definitely seems to take something away from that. He doesn't seem to offer a bad take and then basically mock the people that don't agree with him. He just seems to sort of like sit back and try to understand why people disagree. So I don't think that Tim Pool's a bad guy. I think he has a commentary style that a lot of people don't like, though, and I can see why that is. Joe Neverton says, Bunty, a social climber, always projects like this. I don't know if I necessarily agree with that. I don't think it really makes sense to distance himself from the outrage brigade, because if I took that honestly as a low-key snipe at Jeremy from the Quartering. That's who I believe he was implying, but I don't know. Someone said in response to him, by the way, we just got a warning from YouTube in the super chat that said, welcome to live chat. Remember to guard your privacy and abide by our community guidelines. So I'd like to caution our chat that YouTube is apparently watching, because I just got that notification. Anyways, what was I going to say? The thing is with the idea of Bunty just doing this cynically or pragmatically, I guess you can say, I don't necessarily agree with that, because right now, Jeremy is doing very good. So if it would make a lot more sense to basically kiss up to him if that was his aim. So I think that that's a not very generous interpretation of the tweet. I just think it was a bad take. That's my opinion on it. Euro says there's been blood in the water about Loli and related things. Oh yeah, you better. Dude, I called it. I fucking called it. And the thing is that it's only going to get worse from here. I'm like, the thing is, what I can't stand is that, like, I made a rant about this the other day that I didn't upload, because I was like, this is going to come off as too smug. But it's like, people got pissy at me about the thing with Chris, and there's like, oh, I want to see more evidence. But it's like, I already know you're just going to discount that. I already know that you're just going to completely sidestep it. You don't care what I actually believe. And it doesn't matter. Like, I could sit there, spend a fucking hour of my life going back from his 10,000 tweets of the last few months, because he's sitting on Twitter all day and not doing anything on YouTube. You know, it would take so much time for me to find those tweets. that I already know, like, it would be the people that have already seen the tweets and that have already noticed that I've been talking about it for months. I was low key, without dropping his name, talking about it for months and saying that it was pissing me off because he was offering nothing but bad takes. And it's like, even like the people that follow me, they already knew what was going on. And the people that stumbled across my channel or fans of Chris, they just blew me off. And it's like, okay, well, I don't give a shit. None of you fucking people that blew off my comments, you're no different than any of the other people that have ever come across my channel, and you don't support me. You don't subscribe to my channel. You don't like my videos. You don't watch my streams. You don't give me super chats. You don't pay any shit on Patreon. Why should I give a fucking shit about what you think of me or of my channel? Why should I care? Make me care about what you think of me and about how I conduct myself on YouTube. And that was that rant. So there's a summary of that, and I don't believe I'm going to upload it because it's gonna make me sound like an asshole, and it's gonna make me sound like I'm sitting here on high. Like, it can be easily misconstrued by people as me doing like a fuck the fans thing of like, oh, you know, I don't fuck the fans, I don't care what they think and that sort of thing. When it's like, no, it's the distinction between people who already knew what I was talking about and I never had to explain it to. They just were thankful I did the video and called them out because they were aware of it as well. Versus the people that just stumbled across my channel, gave me shit and say, well, bro, I'm going to unsub. It's like, unsub, you know, I didn't lose any subs. I didn't lose any subs over that video. That's how I know that any of the people that came to my channel and gave me shit are full of crap that aren't even subscribers of mine. So why should I give a damn what you have to say about me, about my commentary on Chris in one one-off video, which I just said was like, I said in the video, it wasn't like the videos that I did on Ethan or on PewDiePie or on Boogie. It wasn't like those videos. I specified that in the video. I reiterated myself, which people also complain about, to make that point. So it's like, anyways, getting back to this. But anyways, my point was with that is that with the lowly thing, okay, just wait. Just wait. Let me chisel it in fucking stone for you. The lowly thing is going to be a major issue, and it's already happening on Steam. All of you are going to fucking see. You can say whatever you want to about me, mock me, say whatever bullshit you want to, talk all the shit you want, say that I'm not demonstrating enough things. Okay, fine. Reality will just demonstrate it fucking for me. When every goddamn game is currently being banned off of fucking Steam because it has some tacit connection to girls that are like near 17, like they're being banned because they have a school setting. They're being banned for that. But no, I'm totally wrong. I have no idea what I'm talking about as it relates to lowly. Go ahead and think that. But we're watching it happen in real time. Anyways, getting back to the super chats. It might be too late to stop it. If we don't buy it, it dies and hopefully reincarnates. I think it's too early to say what direction it's going to go in. But my prediction was right after that became a question was it is the new vehicle by which the SJWs are going to fuck gaming. It is like right now, it's a lot of people on the right that are like haranguing about lolicon and child porn and all that shit. The left is going to realize the power that is behind it, and they are going to push it forward way harder and with way more effect than the right could ever dream of. And it's going to be another mechanism by which to fuck the industry and to fuck the consumer. Will M says, the response I get with that argument is everything is a political statement. A straight couple in the game is promoting heterosexuality. I'm not sure how to respond. I'm not sure what you mean by that, Will. If it's the idea that people put forward that everything is political in a game, like I have seen that in response to certain tweets that everything is political, and it's Anita's point. Everything is political. It's just about like there is no such thing as having something in a game that is not political. And it is like your example of saying, like, if you have a straight couple in the game, to them it is a political statement. that you are promoting the idea of heterosexual couples or traditional couples or whatever, when the fact is that it isn't political. It is just the fact that most couples in this world are heterosexual, and that is art reflecting life. And these people believe that life reflects art. They're fucking crazy. If you really, and I used to talk about this back in the day. You can go back and watch my old videos where I talked about this more in depth. Uh, these people literally believe that art reflects life, that we mimic ourselves off of art. And so they believe that if they are the gatekeepers that control art, then reality will literally become what they want it to be as it's presented in art. That's how they view the fucking world. They are crazy. Hey Louis, here's some Monopoly funny money. Hope Ruben and Peterson successfully create their alternative Patreon. Well, I've already seen a lot of people pouring a very cool glass of water on that proposal, and I have to agree with the people that are very pessimistic about that, because there's no way, as far as I can tell, to get around using Stripe or PayPal. The Stripe, which is the payment processing service that so many outlets use, it is a near monopoly in terms of its use. And so practically, it's not easy to just create your own duplicate of a Patreon, because that's what Subscribestar was using, and they just got fucked. So I don't really know what Peterson and Rubin can do, because neither of them are in any way tech literate. Neither are tech literate. You know, Peterson's got a lot of money behind him, and he's got a lot of influence that he can throw around. But, you know, in an ideal world, sure. But the thing they have to address is the payment processor. Like I seen Andrew Torba has been tweeting this a lot, and he's correct. Andrew Torba is correct that basically what you have to do is start a payment processor in a fucking bank, or a bank that has like an adjacent payment processing service. Like, you have to create that. And he also has stated, and this looks to be true as well from what happened to that, like I think he's not Jewish. He's like a Muslim critic. Like, he runs like some Muslim website that pays attention to all the terror attacks. He got deplatformed by fucking MasterCard. I mean, if you wanted me to, I could pull that article up that talks about that. I don't remember the guy's name offhand, but that was insane. Like, literal credit card companies are deplatforming people now. Like, that's been going on for a while now. Anyways, but yeah, to Dave's point here, Dave Rubin and Peterson, what they have to do, and I'm sure that somebody that is aware of this will talk to him about it, that the issue isn't just creating another fucking Patreon, because that's what Subscribestar was, and it's now totally fucked, as far as I can tell. The guy that runs it claims otherwise, but I don't know that to be true. It is the fact that there's no payment processor that won't deplatform people, and also the issue of, even if you manage to get you manage to solve the issue of payment processor, it then creates the problem of credit card companies. That becomes the next step of the progressive movement, is just, okay, then go after the credit card companies. And you already have MasterCard deplatforming people, like breaking they're like basically canceling people's accounts because they're critical of Islam. Adherent of Lady of Columbia says, "Hey Louis, I just found out apparently Patreon has been banning loli recently." Yes, that's true. Patreon is also banning loli and the people that create that kind of art. It looks like the censorship doers are headed in that direction, and I called that, like, what was it, like a month or so ago? I said that this is going to be a big deal. Also, when do you think Anime Gate will happen? I don't really know. I don't really know much about like the otakus, or however you would say it. I'm not like, people assume I am one, but the thing is that I don't go on image boards. I don't go on Reddit. I don't go on forums and whatever else. I don't really know what people think, but the fact is that it already has arrived with Crunchyroll. Which I think there's another super chat in here about. Crunchyroll has really kicked it off, and it is here. And it's not going to just be anime. It's going to be visual novels as well. Visual novels are going to get fucked. And you can claim otherwise. You can say, oh, the Japanese, there's a buffer. There's a buffer, Louis. There's a buffer between the Japanese and the West. And it's like, okay. Talk to me when that buffer's gone and they're going to get completely fucked like Western gaming has. Oh, just go play Japanese games, Louis. It's like, okay. Sure. Prince of Conquest says, I can't wait for financial collapse so I can finally rid Binghamton of its commie infestation. Birmingham, sorry. I don't know what you mean by that, Prince, but thanks for the super chat. Euro says, it won't stop at games. They want it all. And yes, of course, it's what happens when you're dealing with totalitarians. A Crunchyroll is an example of others could eventually follow. The nail that sticks out gets hammered. Yeah, sure. Kai says, have some Shepples, my Nigba. Glad to see you streaming on my off day. By the way, I was Fart Lozenge from the other stream. Well, I remember that name there, Kai. Joe Neverton says, did you see the cunt that destroyed Subscribestar? No, but I can imagine, the type of who it would be. But it's ultimately PayPal and Stripe are the ones that did it. I mean, you can blame the SJWs or the alt-right trolls or whoever you want to, but it's basically up to the companies whether they're going to capitulate or not. And what I love too, anyways, I was going to say something because somebody messaged me this. One of the things about my video on Chris that they found funny and that I, also find eternally funny, and it's why I asked, is why is there so much diversity in Far Cry 5? Why is there so much diversity in a state that's composed of whatever it was, 90% of whites? Why? And why are there no black suffragettes in Red Dead Redemption 2? No one addressed those questions because I guess those are just besides the point. I'm just totally full of shit. That's what it is. Don't answer any of the questions that I pose. Just bypass them completely. Bypass them like the thought. And ignore those questions because I don't have a point. That's how you know somebody doesn't have a point, is that you bypass their questions altogether. New term of skeptics, pedolectuals. I guess I'm the only one then, because I'm one of the very few that's pointed out that that's going to be the new field by which that we're going to get fucked, and that no one's seeing it coming. Everyone's just ignoring it. But let me, okay. Almost Had It says, what kind of legislation do you think would be required to stop constant deplatforming? I can't, I'm no policy wonk, and I'd have to look at the existing laws to see basically what could be fit in and actually not contradict recent Supreme Court rulings. Because I think that a lot of people misunderstand or just frankly don't understand how, what would be the right way of describing it? How much indiscrimination law hinges on the next Supreme Court case. All you need is one more major Supreme Court case on discrimination laws, and it's fucking gone. And so that would be the only mechanism that I can come up with just offhand by which that you could force companies like this to not remove people for their political positions. Like you couldn't include that in your terms of service. It would have to be something guaranteed as being part of, free speech rights, is that you have a right to not be removed from a platform for your political opinions. The problem is that would be discrimination law that you'd be putting on private companies. And if I'm telling you, all you need is another fucking Supreme Court case that's as bad as that cake guy, the cake one, and it's over. It is over. Like the Supreme Court, they're doing everything in their power to not address discrimination law. That case was it was insane to such an extent where their ruling was incoherent. Their ruling was incoherent. And the reason is that they don't want to address discrimination law, because if they make a ruling, they might in fact invalidate all discrimination laws in the government. And I mean federal and state, because it's what happens on the Supreme Court level. It's interpreting the Constitution. And from their rulings, all laws must comply with those rulings. People have no idea how rocky things are. Some people do. Some people are aware, but a lot of people don't get it. A lot of people don't understand that a lot of the idea of, well, how do we force these companies to not deplatform people? A lot of that is tied into discrimination law. Anyways, the guest says the Far Cry 5 cultists are multiracial because they came from all over the country to join the cult. Okay, well, one, that's stupid, because that's actually technically not true, because they say in the game that they specifically recruited from the Hope County area. So you're in fact wrong about that. But two, it also begs the question of all the people in Hope County, half of which are not even white. So there's a lot of questions to that game, Geth, and good try. Thanks for the support. Bazinski says, I'm illegally moved to the United States so I can IRS them thoughts and uphold myself through matriarchy bucks. What? Appreciates the support, Bazinski. You don't make any sense. Stop speaking in Portuguese. In Portuguese. Stop speaking in Portuguese, man. Yeah, somebody just said need internet bill of rights. Well, that would basically be the fix. It would have to be from the position of, if you're an online platform, you must enforce people's rights in that way. And you would have to the other thing is without that, it would have to be probably through discrimination law, and it wouldn't work. It might work up until you have another Supreme Court case that fucks it. Then it's all over. And that's not really much of a solution at that point. But yeah, things like this workers' union are not going to help things. I can guarantee you that. That reminds me, in fact, I had a tweet that was low-key mockery of Bunty. Let me find that tweet of mine. Because somebody said in a reply to me that, like, all these people give a shit about is trying to legalize weed. Let me find that tweet. Oh, here it is. And this is basically the summary of my criticism of them. And also a referencing of an old joke from a stream, which is Lead Weagle. It's so stop complaining about SJWs, which is pretty much, that's the inference that I get from all of these tweets, whether it's from Chris or anybody else. This is the inference that I get from all of them. You know, this is the implication that they're handing out. And I'm looking at it and going, okay, is this what you mean? Because this is what I'm getting. Stop complaining about SJWs. Lead Weagle people. Rise up. Is it a joke? Yes. Is it also characteristic of their beliefs? Also, yes. So let me X off of these tweets. And maybe we should go with, let me get a thought on screen. Actually, not a thought. Let's see what I can find. The only problem is going to be is that I have like 5 fucking million tweets that I've saved recently. So I guess I can present you, for the people wondering what's going on in Steam. It's a train wreck, and it has been since I think November. I think this started last month, but it is just completely out of control now. It has gone off the fucking deep end. They are just mass banning games. It's out of control at this point. And they don't really have the, oh, here it is right here. Sorry. It's this right here. Child exploitation. They added this. contains content that exploits children in any way. So that begs the question, how do you know this fictional character's age? And the answer is you don't. You just assume their age. You become the arbiter. You declare that you understand. You are interpreting something that is utterly subjective. You have an objective measure by which to declare that these girls are underage, and you censor accordingly. And that you could not be any more authoritarian. And that was the club by which that I beat Dank with, and that he understood that this is authoritarian. This is the only way that it can be described. It is just you declaring the objective arbiter of art, declaring the age of fictional characters, and banning things and censoring art based on your own interpretation of art. It is fucking absurd. But this is the measure by which Steam is now mass deplatforming and just censoring. I'm not even gonna, I hate the word. It is just censoring. They're censoring games based on that, and it is ramping up. There have been like, in the last 2 weeks, there's been like something like 24 games, some insane amount of games that they're just like, no. Like they just keep kicking games off the platform, and it's all one way. It's all games that have any connection to girls set in a school setting. Those are the games that they're banning. People calling it lowly. It's like, okay, where? Describe it to me. Like, I don't even see it. It's just girls that are, like, even in some cases, like in a university setting, that are getting thrown off the fucking and there's also some that are, it's a lot of anime games. It's a lot of visual novels. But anyways, let me find a here, let's do this. This is easy. Put this art on screen while I'm looking for something else to bring up. What's going on in the chat? Rest in peace stream. What? Visual novels aren't games. Well, they're games enough to get censored. They're enough of a game to get censored off of Steam. You got fucking movies on Steam, for Christ's sake, but apparently visual novels don't count. What exactly looks like a child? Apparently full-grown adults, because there's been several examples of games about full-grown adults that are censored. And it's like, okay, I guess even games that have full-grown adults that are like parents, even there's one example of that being banned off the platform, where it's like, okay, like, can you even just like simplify this down to like, oh, it's exploiting children? Okay, is that why you banned this visual novel that has to do with adults on it? Is that why? Like, you're not. But that's the thing. That's the thing with these terms, is that they never follow them. They never fucking follow them. It's never fucking Jack Dorsey. Oh, that reminds me. I thought about this earlier, and maybe I'm thinking of doing this. Let me find it. I'm thinking of doing this. I'm thinking of taking, like, I'm gonna have to ask for some help to find the clips, because I know they're out there. But it's basically all the promises that Jack Conte made about fucking Patreon, and then with this playing in the background. Like, I'm gonna do the exact same thing of Jack Conte talking about, oh, Lauren Southern was just a one-off. Hang on. Lauren Southern, she was just a fucking one-off. You know, oh man, this is not a trend, guys. You believe me. What is it? MOB, manifest observable behavior. We have a procedure, guys. We have a measure by which that Sargon can apply to get back on. You know, it's unbelievable how many lies the guy told about this. So Jack Conte, dedicated to him, and I basically want to do the exact same with him. Is this song and put that out there? just because I think it would be funny as fuck. Because he told so many fucking lies after he got rid of Lauren Southern.
These NPCs are not scripted.
Anyways, yeah. So I dedicate that song to fucking Jack Conte, who lied his ass off and didn't do anything. He did nothing that he promised. Sargon also lied about not having a Twitter account. So what? So what? He was banned for no reason. How is it his fault? I mean, he was banned from Twitter and from Patreon for no reason. Free the 2D nipple. Oh, man. Jack Conte and his sweet little lies. I've been thinking about doing that, but the thing is that I have to find the clips, because I've seen the clips floating around of like he made like this checklist of all the things he was going to implement at Patreon. He didn't do any of them. He made up so many fucking lies. No, he wasn't. Somebody just said that he was banned for the black porn. That was, he got suspended for that, but he came back. That wasn't why he was permanently banned. I remember when he got suspended for that. He wasn't permanently banned because of that. So that's bullshit. You're believing lies yourself. Okay, people on, you can say whatever you want to. You're believing bullshit. He wasn't permanently suspended for that. People in the chat like believing other people's lies. I remember I was there when he got suspended. He didn't get permanently banned for that. Anthem Game of the Year? Yeah, right. Even if it were, I wouldn't give a shit. I already said Life is Strange for Game of the Year. It might as well be. Yeah, people saying he never stopped posting porn pictures. That's bullshit. Snake, you're full of shit, dude. You're full of shit there, Snake. You don't know what you're talking about. I used to put porn on Twitter. I didn't get banned. I've only been suspended a handful of times, and it's been for like a couple days at most. You don't know what you're talking about. You're believing other people's lies. I'm not putting Fox Troika. So it wants me to put his like OC or whoever this is, a lowly. I don't know if this even counts as a lowly Fox, but this is probably gonna, that image will probably get my fucking stream age gated, so I don't want to do that. Sorry there, Fox. Not happening. Yeah, somebody just said Anthem's going to be a flop. It looks like it. It looks like it. I've been hearing some bad things, so it might flop. I don't really know. You know, I never put it past the fucking zombie buyers to just show up and just buy it for whatever reason and turn it into something, you know, that manages to turn a profit. Nope. No, people are asking for it. You're not getting it. Not getting the Fox. I'll find something else. Let me find something else. Nah. I'll probably end this stream in a second here because I don't really have much else to talk about. Eventually, I'm still considering whether I want to do a video on it or not. All the censorship that's been going on in Steam because it's been fucking, it's been insane. What else do we got here? Oh, I guess I'll talk about this because it's just kind of a one-off, and we're talking about Anthem already. Fucking Ubisoft Quebec hired Mike Laidlaw, formerly of BioWare, and it's like, why would you fucking hire anyone from that fucking studio? Like, do you want to go out of business? I mean, can you name me a single fucking, like, just go down the line. Name me one fucking franchise this cocksucker worked on that isn't dead. Name me one. Like, they've already announced they're gonna do another fucking Dragon Age. It's like, how? The last one was a fucking disaster. It's unbelievable to me that anyone would hire this guy. Let me see here if I can find some kind of image to go on off on. No. Where the fuck is it? Find something. I have so many articles. I got to do a news stream at some point. I got to do a news stream to get rid of this. Okay, well here's another Fox girl. I'll split the difference. Here's a more moderately dressed Fox girl that's not going to get the stream fucking age gated. She's got red eyes too, with like a red Japanese. It looks like a red Japanese flag in the background. How about the devs who went after Pewds? I guess I could talk about that. That's been in the news. Who'd she work for? Was it Ubisoft that got fired? Was that who she worked for? I believe it was. I guess this is the only article I can find on it. So, the eternally pursued biggest subscriber on YouTube, for no reason, seemingly, some developer just went after him. And she was responding to something I think he said in a video. But she was a developer for The Division. And she pissed people off, but it's like, it's people that are just looking for attention, that are using their position as a developer at this particular company as a justification for their authority. Like, that's all this is. It's all for blue checkmark points. And like, you know why I don't put my fucking company's name in my description of my accounts? Is because I don't want anything like merging my online persona and my presence online with my actual fucking job. The only reason you would do that as a game developer is to posit that you have more authorities than others as it relates to gaming. Only reason why you do it. And by the way, this is something, and the big thing with this is that this has been going on. Like, for anyone that's been aware of what's happened in comics, this is something that started in comics. This is something that comics have had a problem with for years, where you had comic artists and writers and editors and stuff basically shitting on everyone, going on social media, mostly Twitter, and using their authority as a writer or as an editor or author slash whatever artist who works for DC, Marvel, whomever, using that authority in that position to just shit on people. And so when people say like, oh, this woman shouldn't have been fired and blah, blah, blah. Well, it's like, the issue is though, that this is nothing new. This is nothing new. And the issue is that video games are not comic books. You can shit on people in comic books and not get fired. That doesn't fly in gaming. You can't act like an asshole on fucking Twitter to your own consumers and shit on people and be mean and just think that you're going to walk into work tomorrow and people ask, like, and the thing is, if she didn't have the name of Ubisoft in her description, no one would have known who she was. Maybe people would have looked her up and dug up that she was a developer at Ubisoft. And maybe they could have, said like, "Oh, we're going to boycott this game because of this developer." But the thing is that she had that in her description. She had that in her bio, and that was on purpose. This is something that's been going on for years. And to say that, oh no, this is just the gamers being gamers that are being outraged for no reason, it's like, no. To anyone that's seen what's happened in comic books, this is the exact same fucking thing. This isn't new at all. So, her being fired, I mean, it's a private company. They can do whatever they want. There's my answer that you give to me about everything that's going on. Why is this in any way not justified when it's the same situation? Private company does what it wants. Fires an employee that stirred up a bunch of bad publicity when Ubisoft has been freaking careening back and forth whether they want to embrace social justice or not. It doesn't really it makes sense, in my opinion, that they would have fired her. They're trying to fly under the radar as every goddamn company around them is bursting in flames. And it's in many cases over scandals. Half the time it's involving social justice. You just had Battlefield 5, which by all appearances is scrambling to try to find a player base for its fucking game. Giving it away half price here and giving these discounts there. They never did that with any of the other previous games. They're not doing that with The Sims. They're not giving discounts for this or that. Why? It's always the thing. Why? The answer is because they don't have enough fucking people playing it to justify, the money that they're investing in it as a game. The investment that they have doesn't just stop at day one. But anyways, so yeah, I mean, that to me is the thing. I'm not going to sit here and say that this woman deserved to be fired. But I am going to say that by their own standards, she should have been fired. Like, that's my question. That's my question. Why does Sargon deserve to be deplatformed because it's a private company and they are allowed to do whatever they want, but this woman being fired is somehow inappropriate? And okay, somebody just pointed out that it's not, no one knows for certain just yet whether she has been fired or not. And that appears to be true. No one knows yet if she was fired. It's just implied. Fallout 76 currently on sale here, 52%. Same with gender-filled vagina. As far as I know, on Origin, it's still at full price, but not if you are an Origin Access user, which is like $60 a year or like whatever dollars a month. You can get it at like $35 right now, and that's true. I saw that 2 days ago, that you can get it at $35 right now if you're an Access user. You get a 10-hour trial, which I tried and was very unimpressed by, and now it's currently $35. They're trying to make it seem like all she did was criticize PewDiePie and got persecuted for it. Well, they can frame it however the fuck they want to. Private company. I'm sure some other fucking social justice developer will hire her. If she kicks up enough stink, she'll get hired. Some social justice developer will hire her, and then they'll fucking fail. Oh yeah, what did she say? That basically she said that the gaming industry needed to end him. So let me look that up. End him. She said some wacky shit. Boy. All I can find are Jeremy's videos on it. God damn, there's another fucking PewDiePie hit piece in the New York Magazine. Come on. I can't find a fucking I only can find one article that actually uses that quote. It was over him. I know it was over him being shot in the head in Counter-Strike on VR, and he laughed at the guy that shot some guy who was like thanking him. And this woman basically said that, okay, here's the tweet. Okay. She said that it's okay. She says it's because he gave a shout out to ER, some anime review channel. And he apparently does like, I don't know if it's Nazi jokes or if it's like straight up, symbolism for the sake of like, tacit support in his videos. I don't really know. It could be either as far as I'm aware. And she's responding to that from an article from The Verge talking about that, which is another smear piece against PewDiePie. It's important to call out consistent shitty behavior from folks who constantly acts shitty, no period. Excusing his actions desensitizes people to ignorance and hate. Says he's a comedian is being ignorant to what comedians do. Okay, let me roll my eyes into the back of my head there, Diana. Says he's being satiric is being ignorant of what satire is. Oh, okay. God, this fucking person is stupid. Where's her tweet? Where's her tweet? I don't see it here. I don't see the tweet that she says we need to end him. It might be deliberately left out of this because this seems to be a semi-favorable article. But yeah, she had some rhetoric in terms of like ending him. But I can't find the exact quote. All right, yeah, I can't find it. So I'm sure people in the chat will say whether it was intentional or not. It's edgy, witty jokes. She did it last year as well. Well, finally, she got her attention. She got his attention. Let's see here. I'm trying to catch up. Half joking to keep the gems at bay. I forget what that I know what the reference is, but I don't remember where gems came from as the reference. Anyways, anything else? Anyone else have a super chat or something else that I could talk about that's happened in recent history? Otherwise, I'm gonna go put away some laundry and think about doing a video for today. Steven Universe. That's a joke from Steven Universe. Have I heard about the retarded Canadian prime minister picking a fight with China? Yeah, I already heard about that. That's like an old story. He's not gonna fucking do anything. Canada or China owns fucking Canada. Sorry to say. Theresa May. Well, she survived her the attempt to oust her. Yeah, I did hear about Mumkey Jones getting some similar. Oh god, chat is moving too fast. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, I did hear about Mumkey Jones, and he apparently it's pretty weird his case where he tried to use Keemstar and some other like trusted flagger employee that he tried to use as a go around to get his accounts back. But like they basically said that despite the fact that the the videos that were flagged in question didn't actually break the terms of service and didn't actually contain the content that they were flagged for, it didn't matter, and his channel was going to stay down anyways. That was pretty shitty, I gotta say. That's pretty fucked up. But the thing is with YouTube is, man, you can't trust them. YouTube is about as trustworthy as fucking Patreon at this point. Their terms of service don't mean anything. They could ban me. I mean, they could see this Fox girl photo here and then ban me for fucking hate speech, and it would be about as consistent as what they did to Mumkey, at least in terms of what he's claiming. You know, I have no reason to I have no reason to think he's lying about what happened to him or about the content on his channel. Tumblr yeeting all the loots. Yeah, that's kind of old news at this point in Tumblr. That was after they got banned off of at the Apple Store, whatever it was. That's been going on for a while now, but there's nothing really you can do about it with Tumblr. I mean, it's internal. That's the reason why that's all happening, and I don't think there's any way to stop that, because they freaked the fuck out after they got banned off of whatever. And all of a sudden, everyone was claiming, oh my God, there's child porn on this. And I have never seen any evidence to say that any of it was actually child porn. They never clarified what it was. No one clarified anything. It was just an accusation, and they got banned for it. And they flipped out and started banning artists over it. And it's like, okay, well, no one's detailing fucking anything. And it's like, okay, if it's actual child porn, why the fuck isn't the FBI involved? Where's the FBI in this? Where's some federal agency who's involved in the investigation of there's child pornographers on fucking Tumblr? I didn't see any shit like that. I didn't see any statement from Tumblr saying that we're working with federal enforcement to have these people locked up. None of that. So there's been no evidence to say that that accusation in the first place was in any way true. I've been told that there's people at Tumblr that are against SJWs, but they might be just more Silicon Valley groupthink retards that are just interested in the money. I think that's the only reason why you don't see like lewd things banned off of Tumblr, is because they realize there's money there. Same thing with, like, you know, premium Snapchats. Why isn't Snapchat, which isn't that owned by Facebook? You know, Zuck. Why isn't he zucking them off of that platform? Money. That's why. Money. So when there's companies that actually care about money, they don't get rid of people like that. They leave them on there. It's why, by the way, I've already said this, and I'm like, this is my official opinion, but it's not a declarative statement because I don't want to get fucking sued for defamation. It's an opinion statement. My opinion statement is the sole reason why you have all these thoughts on Twitch. Even though Twitch is specifically for gaming, that is the reason why it exists. That's in their terms, by the way. It's for gaming. You know why you have all those thoughts? Because it is a market of underage boys. That is why they are there. That is why the company's looking the other way, because money. There's a shitload of money. And I'll tell you how this happens, right? You have young boys, they go to their parents. They say, you know, mommy, daddy, open your wallet, give me your credit card. I want to watch my favorite, you know, fucking Fortnite streamer. I want to watch my favorite Fortnite streamer on Twitch. So the parents give them the credit card to allow them to subscribe to their streamers' accounts. Well, then those boys then go on to subscribe to the thought accounts. Because there's no distinction on the platform between the gaming accounts and the thoughts, which they're just softcore cam girls. That it's literally all they are. The reason why they're there, the reason why they're popular, and why they're not, you know, like it's the question, why aren't they on cam girl websites? The reason why, the cam girl websites are already saturated. There's already cam girls all over cam girl websites, and there's a million cam girl websites. Every porn website you can think of has a cam girl section to it. Every one. And there's some that are just standalone cam girl websites. The reason why those girls are on Twitch is because it is an untapped market. They're the pioneers of tapping that market, and it is of underage boys. That is why they're there. And it's one of the reasons why I'm against it. It's, in fact, illegal. You're not allowed to, as far as I know, under current American restrictions, you're not allowed to promote or sell that content to children. You can't. So my big thing isn't, we need to censor things. I'm against that. My thing is, you're not enforcing your terms of service. You're catering very clearly to an underage market of boys that are watching these girls that are softcore cam whores. They're doing this. They're not following your terms of service. And there's ample evidence to say that despite the fact that they know that these girls are breaking their terms of service, they're doing everything in their power to help them, to keep them from kicking them off of the platform. There was a story that I don't remember the exact name of the girl. She kept fucking up and she kept bad-mouthing people at Twitch, and finally she got banned. Because she was nakedly violating the terms of service of the website. She finally got fucking banned and cried foul for it. And the reason is that she's a fucking cam whore. It's this unspoken thing that's happening on Twitch. And it might, I swear to God, if I see enough stories that piss me off about it, I'm going to do another video on it. I'm going to do a full fucking video on what's going on at Twitch because it pisses me off. Because this is my big thing, is that nobody follows their own fucking terms of service. Nobody follows their own fucking terms of service. Nobody. It's just amazing to me how many goddamn websites bitch and moan about their terms of service and unfairly enforce it. But no one, they don't follow their own fucking terms. Patreon doesn't. Twitch doesn't. How many fucking websites? YouTube doesn't. How many fucking websites can we just go down the line that do not follow their fucking website, that do not follow their own terms of service? Yeah, somebody just said it. People can get banned on Twitch for calling them thoughts. Yeah. I see people agreeing in the comment section, and I've seen this too. There are people that bring it up that get banned off of Twitch. There was one guy that did, I think, that crazy rant about what was going on Twitch. He got banned. He got banned for life for it because he was calling out these girls on Twitch. And the reason they banned, by the way, why do you think they banned him? It's for the fucking money. It's for the money. It's one of the things I can't stand about this. It's like these fucking people always start screaming about women. Like, oh, we're protecting the women. We're protecting the women. It's like, no, you're protecting your own bottom line. You're protecting your own profit as a company. That's why you're doing this. And it's for something that I find to be honestly disgusting. You are intentionally, you know that these women are targeting underage boys. You know it. You know it. It's anyways. Check out. I've heard of it's a Gundam. I've heard of him. He has a very thick, Brooklyn accent. I've heard of him, or maybe Newark accent. I'm not sure. But yeah, I have seen. I don't know if I've seen a video from him on that in particular, but I have seen it. I have heard of him, and I've seen a couple of his videos. Purge the thought, protect the lowly. I agree there, Fox. I agree. But if there's anything else, I could take one more question before I go, but I want to end this stream. Anything else before we end this, or should I go put away some laundry? I'll take one more, but I should really go. Let's see. Gundam as a thought roaster. People, I love how people are just telling me go do your laundry. Joe says, "Who is your lowly waifu?" I've already said. I'll find her. I don't know if it's a waifu. It is just a. Anyways, you should put away Colin Moriarty to dry. Nah, I've already done a video on him. I appreciate Sport Basinski. I've already done a video on him. Steam should ban loot boxes if they might ban lowly explode. Oh, I mean, dude. I mean, okay. So I'll end it on that. Good statement by Ghost of Hans Gruber. Good name, by the way. Steam, while they're there protecting the children from visual novels, they're totally sidestepping the fact. And by the way, there is a huge. If you want to look into something crazy, look at the gambling websites that existed, like straight up gambling websites for Counter-Strike Go. Go look that up. Go Google that. Go Google Counter-Strike Go gambling. Go look that up, because that existed on Steam for years, as far as I can tell, and it was fucking insane. I never did a video on it, I don't think, but it was fucking crazy what happened there. And they finally it almost got them into legal trouble, so they fucking came in and just demolished everything, like banned a bunch of people, shut a bunch of people down, put out a bunch of cease and desist letters to all these websites, and all that came careening and crashing down. That exploited children, and so does loot boxes. Loot boxes are just gambling. They're designed to be like gambling. They have all the auditory and visual effects of gambling. That is the reason why they exist in very flashy fashion. It is to construe the exact same psychological, what would be the, I guess, triggers of gambling. Because you see the same thing with slot machines. It's the exact same style. And it's psychological. It's not triggering isn't the right word. There's another word for it. There's another word. There's an actual like phrase that you use that it does something to your mind. Maybe someone in the chat can point that out. I never said gambling's bad. I mean, it's targeting children. And I don't think you should be targeting children with gambling. I think that is bad. No, that's not conditioning. That's, I mean, endorphin release is closer to what I mean. Stimulating is also, that is correct, but it's also not the word I'm looking for. Manipulation is also true, not the word that I'm looking for. But in any case, it is a kind of stimulation. That is correct. Like the people responding are correct, but it's a particular thing that it does that it has a phrase, and it basically means like it's not the effect that it has, but it is what they are doing. No, I guess I forget the word, and I guess people can't think of it either. So I guess I'll end it there. Grooming is close. Anyways, so thank everyone for stopping by and for sending me your sending the support and the super chats and all that. And thanks to the people that are still supporting me on Patreon. Although it's unfortunately a bad position that we're all in with what's going on, but I'd appreciate the people that stay there just for now until we can find some kind of alternative, because I'm going to have to figure out something to find a bridge for people, for people to support me other than through, the affiliates or directly through Patreon or through super chats, something like that. Because even with super chats, they still take, YouTube still takes their fucking 30%. And that's in the case where they're not upset by your individual support and they don't fucking send it elsewhere. But I'll see what I can come up with in the future for new content. And I have a few things planned for this month, but I'm just unsure of what to get out in the immediate. Because I have a couple things I'm editing, but nothing that I want to. I already Autist Whisperer. I already talked about Mumpke Jones. You can scroll back a little bit and you'll hear me talk about that. Otherwise, thanks for everyone stopping by, and I'll talk to you in the near future. All right.